Hi, I'm Rick Conlow. Let's get right into it today. The number one problem confronting managers today. Well, let me start off with this cartoon that I saw. Managers have lots of problems. Long-term problems, short-term problems, don't even talk about them type problems. They happen. Wouldn't you agree with me? Well, you know, I've been a consultant for 20 plus years now. Been in a couple hundred organizations. And, you know, the number one thing I hear from managers about their teams is they got to hold people accountable and responsible. Now, you know what? Here's what I believe. The way you get accountability in your team is that you're accountable as the leader. So when I hear managers talking about getting their people accountable, it gives me clues to watch particularly, very carefully at the leaders and see what they do and what they're missing and what problems they're causing. Because a lot of times they're getting in their own way. See, accountability, success in that, demands personal development. And an employee's performance begins and ends with the performance of the leader. So we say this, if you want your team to be better, you have to be better as a leader. It starts with you. Don't put it on the employees. That's the problem in leadership in so many places today. In the public, private area, government, business, even religion, is it's all about someone else. And it isn't about what the leader needs to do better. You know, let's complain about everybody else and let's not look at ourselves. So it begins and ends with you. Now, there are some actions you can take to hold people accountable, but in order to do these actions, you have to be accountable as an individual. I use the STAR acronym. Here's what it stands for. Set clear goals and expectations, train and train again, activate communication, and I should say powerful communication, and then review and coach and do that religiously. So let's talk about each one of these individually. And again, let me say, employee performance, employee accountability begins and ends with the leader. And if you're in a leadership role, you. So set clear goals and expectations. So what that means as a leader is you got to be clear on what your goals are for your team, include them in a planning process, and we have other trainings and videos and resources that talks about that. And then make sure that you go through an aggressive performance management process, not where you sit down and review performance once a year or maybe every 6 months, but when you're doing it monthly at least, maybe quarterly at the outset, but in that time frame where you're talking to your team about their priorities, what they're doing well, what they need to improve, and what their action plan is. And then have the coaching to back that up, which is one of the other points. So if you do that, they'll be more accountable. You see what I'm getting at here? Second area is train your team to high performance. It's a sad fact, most companies don't do enough training. Most employees are getting, less than a day of training a year. In fact, one study I came across by Accenture that said only 21% of employees had attended a company training program in the last 5 years. That's ridiculous. If you want high performance, if you want people to exceed their goals, and that's what accountability is all about, they do their job, they do it well, they excel, you have to do yours. So give them training. And if you're not the trainer, get the training or department or human resources department to do it, or get outside resources to do it. Top-notch companies provide 60 to 70 hours of training for their employees per year. Guess what? They perform better. That means you also have to attend, by the way, too. The leader is not exempt. Then activate vigorous, powerful communication. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Do it informally, do it in text, do it in email, do it in a regular team meeting. Yes, you can have meetings. You should have meetings, even if you're separated from one end of the world to the other. You should have a meeting with the technology we have today. You can do it in an instant. Communicate positively, constructively, helpfully. Your goal should be to do it that way. And do it with integrity. That's what inspires people. The number one problem, employee engagement surveys, we don't communicate around here. I hear that all the time. That's what employees say about leadership. We don't communicate. So the leaders aren't being accountable. So it starts with you. You know, when was the last time you had employees come up to you and said, we haven't had a team meeting in a while. You haven't talked to me about my goals in a while. We haven't solved a particular problem in a while. You have to initiate it. And in time, they'll start doing that if you don't. The R stands for reinforce, coach your team to victory. Quite frankly, I believe coaching is the secret sauce to leadership success today because so few leaders coach effectively. You know, coaching is informal, day-to-day interactions, 30 seconds here, a minute here, a text, an email, face-to-face, sit-down meeting, a variety of formats. It's formal, 45, 60 minutes, going through their goals that I talked about earlier under the S, going through that, making that happen. The biggest obstacle leaders say is, I don't have time to do this. And I say you don't have time to be a leader. This will make a difference. You coach, you're accountable. They'll be more accountable because you're helping them. You're helping them get to the next level. You're helping them win. That's what I'm talking about. And if your team wins, you win. If they don't win, you lose. This all is part of our superstar leadership model from our book, Superstar Leadership. And I believe an authentic leader, a trustworthy leader, their number one priority is people. And that's what this STAR model is reminding us to do in terms of accountability. It starts with us. Now, Mary Lou Retton was one of the greatest gymnasts of all time. And Mary Lou was in the 1988 Olympics, needed to run down, do the jump on the horse and the vault, and she had to be perfect in order to win the gold medal. So she's standing there on the line, getting ready to go. And you know what happened? Boom, she took off, did the vault, perfect, got a 10. Little known fact, she went back and did it again. Wow! Now think about it. Mary Lou was asked, what were you thinking, Mary Lou, as you're getting ready to run? 100,000 people in LA Stadium watching. 1 billion people worldwide. What would the average person be thinking? Oh no, I can't do this. I'm so nervous. No, Mary Lou told the reporter this. I knew what I was thinking. I was thinking, I need a 10, got a 10. Got to run hard, tuck, plant. This one's for you, Mom and Dad. And then she said, boom, I took off and did it. Wow, there's a lesson there. What did she do? She had a goal. She had a game plan. And then she took action and made it happen. And you know what else? She dedicated it to her mom and dad. This one's for you, Mom and Dad. And it's the same thing with us. See, that little STAR acronym is about making your people the star, the champion, the winners.